Hey Lily, it looks like you're the only one so far. Do you have any particular questions?
No, sir.
You're just waiting for others to see what they have?
Yeah,
All right, yeah, and
unless you want to come and test for me.
no, I'm good. So remember, um, let's see.
And I will be removing those Leap Connect kids out of that group. I'm just leaving them in there for now before we start so I can make sure all my kids have been assigned.
Okay. All right, I'm going into PA Next to get the manual, and I made 12 copies for you, Lily. You still want them?
Yes, I'm going to come get them probably tomorrow.
Okay.
Um can you make me a few more of the accommodated folders?
Yes, I have a bunch of them, so when you come,
Okay.
just pick them up. Now I'm not going to be here tomorrow, so but Debbie and Lori know where the copies are, so just get them from
Okay.
them.
Oh, and remember I called you yesterday about the large print? It
Yes.
doesn't have any pre-bubbling on the large print thing, so I just did it myself for her on the other sheet,
Okay.
on the small one.
All right, that's fine.
She does still need to make a my ACT account, correct?
Yes, that's the only way she'll get her
Okay.
scores.
I sent the information to the parent so that she could help her.
Okay. All right. So I'm in PA Next. I'm going to Louisiana State Testing webpage, and when you scroll down, I'm going to ACT test, and I'm going to the manual. So I think it's step number, um, maybe step number 5. All right. So step number 5, where it says administration. So the manual online. Okay. So remember, um, all the stuff that you have to do in PA Next on test day starts on page 53. So when you go to page 53, hopefully both of you that are on here, you've been looking at the manual. Miss Hall, have you been studying that manual?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you know on page 53 is where, let me get to it. All right. On page 53 is where they talk about retrieving seal codes. So we did all that during our trainings. So, Miss Hall, are you going to retrieve the seal codes for them, make copy, and give it to each one, or are they going to have to do it themselves?
We're gonna do it.
Okay, and you know how to do that, right?
No. Can you show me? I think yesterday when I was on the website, um, I was just fumbling around with the website and I saw the option to do so, but I didn't really click it because I was doing something else. So
Okay,
if we could just go
right,
ahead
right,
and
right here are the
okay,
directions.
okay,
Okay, it says select testing icon,
mhm,
select the session's title to access the
mhm,
session screen. Check the box. So those are the steps. So let me just kind of go through it with you. But the
okay,
steps are there. All the steps here: providing seal codes to examinee, locking a test session. What you see there, those numbers are the steps. All right. So let's go talk about then the retrieving seal codes. All right. So I'm going to go to your school. Let me get into test admin. Well, I was already in there. All right. So Lilio, you're going to have them do the seal codes, or you're going to print it yourself?
Two different things.
They're gonna do it themselves.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm in mentorship, and so Lily, you trained them how to do that, right? Or you showed them?
Right?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay. Good. All right. So Miss Hall, I'm looking at the directions here. So the directions, you can see my screen here. It says the first thing you do is select the testing icon. So that's this right here. See that? Then the second thing you're going to do is select sessions. So we're going to click on sessions. All right, so it went away. Let me go ahead and get it back. PDF right here. Okay, then the third thing you're going to do, step number 3, is you're going to check the box next to the sessions that you want to retrieve the seal codes for. All right, so Miss 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 Hall, you only have 3 sessions.
I'm sorry, I was talking on mute. But yeah, so we had to make some changes with some of our test administrators. So I'm gonna go ahead and add everybody today. We just had to make some last minute changes.
All right, but you do have more than 3 sessions, right?
Oh yes, we have
Okay.
plenty.
Okay. All right. Okay, so then the third step says this. You're going to check the box next to the sessions that you want to retrieve the seal codes for. All right, so let's suppose you want to retrieve the seal code for the first one that has 8 students in it. Okay, so I check the box. Then the next step says in the tasks pane, select show students in sessions and control sessions in the drop down menu. All right, so that's when they say the tasks pane, that's this right here. So when I click on this, here's the part that you have to click on, show students in sessions, control sessions. And then this shows up. Then it says this, step number 5. In the session list, and here's the session list right here, in the session list, select the session to work with. Well, there's only one session you selected. So you're going to click on it, and then this shows up. All right? Okay, now, step number 6. In the resources menu, select seal codes. Okay, so resources is right here. You see that?
Yes.
Okay, there are the seal codes. Click on the seal codes, and those are the seal codes that you would have to give this test session, because the seal codes are different for each test session.
Okay.
All right, so I'm confused as to what this is. Pre-test instructions not sealed. Session 2 examinee statement is not sealed. Okay, so they have to go through. So what you're seeing here is that when the students go on, they do pre-test instructions and the examinee statement. All right, so they go through these steps. So that's what you see here. So in the TA manual, and did you train your teachers yet?
Yeah. So we had to do it like a few at a time because everybody been going on field trips this week. So we're gonna finalize testing on today and tomorrow.
All right. So in the manual,
I'm sorry.
when they read, at some point it's going to tell them to give the students a seal code. So the seal code for English for this session is going to be this. The one for math's going to be this, reading this, and then science this. Okay, those are the seal codes. So that's where you get the seal codes.
All right, got it.
All right. Now, before you do the also what you need to give them is the authorization tickets, which it doesn't say in here. So the authorization tickets gives the student the information they need to get into TestNav.
Okay.
Okay, Miss Harris.
Yes, sir.
Hey, can you help us to? I'm going to go back to the home page. I'm going back here, and I'm going to go to. I'm in mentorship. Can you remind us how to get the authorization tickets?
Go to testing,
Okay.
then go to sessions,
Okay.
and then click the
All right. I'm clicking on one.
the start. Yeah.
All right, and then go to the session
And then-
pane. You have to go here,
Yes.
And then go
Yeah,
where?
go to the session page. Then go to click start.
No, you got to
Wait,
click
I'm sorry. You have to click your sessions that you want to do.
show students in session control sessions. It's the same thing we just did with the seal code.
Yes.
All right. Then you get this. All right. So you click on the session name. Same thing you saw earlier. So Ms. Hall, the authorization tickets are in the same place as the seal codes. They're in the resources.
Okay.
So right here you see print all for this session. So you click on it, and these are the student's authorization ticket. So to print them, you got to do right click, and then you print, and then it'll print one per page, and you can use that for scratch paper.
Okay.
But when students get when they open the Chromebook, they're going to go to the kiosk where, and I'm hoping since you're at a charter school, I'm hoping you went and verified that those, or the students verified that the Chromebooks have the TestNav icon.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So when they click on that TestNav icon, it's going to ask for the student. I think it's no. I'm sorry. It's going to ask for the username, which is here, and then the password, which is here. Okay. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So that has to be done Monday. You
It'll
have
be
to
done.
you have to print those authorization tickets Monday. And or the day before testing. You're starting on Wednesday, everybody else is starting on Tuesday. So you can print this on Tuesday if you want to.
Okay.
So you have to print this, you have to print the seal codes because you said you're giving them the seal codes. Okay. All right. Before I go on, anything else with all three of you regarding authorization tickets and seal codes? You're going to do that the day before testing.
Right.
Okay, so the other thing you have to do before testing is, and it's not in this little area here, but what else do you have to do before testing, Miss Rubin? Do you remember?
Okay. I am going to need to, I can't think of what it's called. Is it prepare the session is what it's called?
Yes, prepare the sessions. All right. So Miss Hall, you're going to have to prepare the sessions also. So you're going to go, and it's in here somewhere. Let's see where it is, where it says to prepare sessions. Let's see. I'm trying to remember where it is. Okay. Well, all right, it's somewhere in there, but here's what you're going to do. You're going to go back to your session. Let's see where I'm at. Okay. All right. So I'm going back to the home page. So the day before, and you have to do this day before. You cannot do this the day of because it takes a long time.
Okay.
Day before, you got to prepare your session. So you're going to go to testing.
Okay.
You're going to go to sessions. You're going to click, and you can click on all of these. So I'm going to go ahead and click on all of these. And then you're going to go to, let's see, I think it's show students in sessions. Remember, everything we've been doing, we always went to control panel and we clicked on show students in sessions, control sessions. Then this shows up. Notice it says that for this session here, it's not prepared.
Okay.
Okay, so.
No, that's logged in. You need to be out, like, you can't be at this screen. Log out.
I can't.
All right.
That's what I did. Shut
You
it
can't
down.
put in
Wait,
your
hold on.
password, username and password. Don't do any of
Don't do
that.
anything. Okay.
Okay, so notice that this session's, it says not prepared. This session's not prepared. This session's not prepared. Okay, now there is going to be a prepare button right here. You're not going to see it until 2 days before testing. That's why you don't see it here. But if you went to the training session that we did during our trainings, let me go to the training session. I'll show you where that prepare button is. But there's going to be a prepare button on that other side, on the right side. Okay, let me try it again. All right, so I'm going to the training session. I'm going to one of the schools and see if, I'm going to go to Broadmoor and see what they have. So I'm going to testing sessions. So during testing, this is some of the stuff you're going to see. So you're going to see in progress, stopped, and all that. So all these mean something. So all that was discussed in training. It's also talked about in the manual. But to get, I don't see anything that says ready. So let me go to another one. Let me see if I can find another one. Let's see. All right, and at the end, see how this school, at the end you have to stop the session. That's in the manual as well. So once students have completed all 4 tests, you have to click on stop. And so notice in the mock administration, if you had done that, you would have seen session status stopped. Okay, so Michael, let's see, let me find, okay, so here's some that says ready. All right, so right here it says ready. So I'm going to click on this one right here. And I'm going to go to show students in session control sessions. Then I'm going to click on this right here. And then right here it says, well, maybe she already prepared it. Okay, let me go back to yours and see what it says. All right, I'm going back to your sessions. All right, so see this says not prepared right here. When you prepare, it's then going to say, I'm going to the mock. When you prepare the sessions, there's going to be a button right here that's going to say prepare. I don't want to go through each one of those and try and find one, but it'll say the word prepare. See where it says start? It'll say prepare instead. So when you prepare, see how yours says not prepared? When you prepare the session, it is then going to say, ready. So right now yours says prepare, not prepared. When you prepare, it'll say ready. Then what you have to do the day of is also, all of you, what else do you have to do the day of testing? Or either you or the room supervisor during the training if they're going to do it. Do y'all remember? So see how this one says ready? What do y'all have to do on the day of?
Yeah, we have to make them all ready. Yeah.
Well, it's already ready. Yes, you're going to prepare the day before you prepare. And then once you prepare, it then says ready. But on the day when students are about to take the test, what must you do to get out of this ready? You got to start the session. You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. So to get to start the session, y'all, it's in the training manual, right? All right. To get to start the session, you're gonna click on it. Then you go to show students in session control sessions. Then right here, click on this just to list of students. Right here it says start. So if I click on start, it now says this. All right. And then notice there's a green button right here. A green circle. So those students are ready to start. Okay? All right, now students are logged into TestNav. They're ready to take the test. What else must the room supervisor do or you do in order for students to take the test? There's something wrong here. Do you remember what that is?
Wait, let me look on the big screen. Hold on. I can't see on my phone.
Once you start the session, the room supervisor has to then do what? Right here, guys.
Unlock.
They have to unlock.
Yes, unlock.
All right, so to unlock it, see how there's a little padlock right here, and it's locked. So you unlock it, you just move it here, and then notice it's unlocked. That's the only way the students will be able to use that authorization ticket. Okay, Miss Hall, there's a lot of stuff here. I'm hoping you go back through that manual to review all that stuff we did. I am recording this, so I will post it in Canvas. But let me go back to the manual just to remind you where all this stuff is. Let me go back to the manual. Let's see. Okay, so all right, so we talked about, let me go back to that page. All right, we talked about retrieving seal codes. We talked about providing seal codes to the examinee. So during testing, the room supervisor is going to indicate the seal code. So it says verbally provide the seal code. Then we just talked about unlocking and locking. So make sure you read those directions. So before testing, you have to unlock. After for multiple day testing, and it says it in here, for multiple day testing, you have to lock the session and then unlock it the next day. Once students have completed all the tests, you're going to stop the session. So it talks about locking a session. It talks about viewing examinee progress in a session. We'll come back to that. Resuming an interrupted test. So none of you have breaks as needed. That's on here. So if a student goes to the restroom, hopefully you're not going to let students go to the restroom during a test. Because if you do, you have to do an irregularity report. But if they do they log out or they let the computer continue to run?
They let it continue to run.
That's right. Now, if a student accidentally logs out, you have to do an irregularity report because then you have to call ACT and figure out how to deal with that. They're going to do something on their end to fix that time. But if a student logs out, then you have to resume an interrupted test. So, and the directions are there, but when you go back, I'm going to go back to the training just to see if I can find one. Let's see. So when a student logs out, let me see if I can find one that's in there. I'm going to go to, hopefully there's one in here, in progress. Let's see what happens. Show students in session control sessions. Click on that. All right. So right here, if a student logs out, it's going to say exited. It's going to be a red. See right here, the little colors. This says ready. This says resumed. This says active. This says exited. So it's going to be red. At the end of testing, remember you want all of your statuses to be coded as what? Do you remember?
Blue.
You want it to be
Complete.
blue. So completed or marked complete. But if a student is exited, then in the little drop-down menu, is I'm going to show it here because it's not exited, but in the little drop-down menu, it will, well, actually does, resume upload. So that's how you resume. So if a student's exited, you have to resume, but you also have to do an irregularity report on why that student exited and you have to resume. So it's very important that your room supervisors are monitoring everything that's happening. Mr. Hall, you have any questions?
Not yet. I'm taking notes.
Okay. All that is in the manual. All right, let me go back to the manual. All right, so we just talked about resuming an interrupted test. Remember, when a student logs out, it becomes red exited to resume. You click on the little drop down button to resume. Then exiting a test for multiple day sitting. So all of you have multiple days. So let's see, let me see if I can enlarge that. So this is supposed to be done by the room supervisor, but you may tell the room supervisor you'll do it, but here's what you have to do. Exiting a test for multiple day sitting. So let's say it's timing code 3. All of you have timing code 3. So the first day you'll give math. I'm sorry, ELA. First day is ELA. It says this. Make sure all examinees have submitted the test they are working on and are now on the screen that says for the next test, where they will continue the next sitting. Direct examinees to log out of TestNav. Now to log out of TestNav, that's this right here. You're going to do letter B. Letter B says sign out of TestNav from the user drop down at the top of the screen. So when we did the trainings, you saw how we did that, where you have the student go to the top and then do the drop down menu to sign out of TestNav. Then step number 3 says in PA Next you lock the session. So for multiple day sessions, at the end of the day, you have to lock the session. So remember to lock the session, you're gonna go here. Let's see if I can get to it. So let's say it's this one here. Let me take this one out. So let's say it's this one here. So you're going to lock it, and to lock it, you're going to go back to Sessions Control Sessions. You're going to click on the name right here, and then right here, see the lock button? Y'all remember that's where the lock button is. So what do I need to do to lock this session?
Slide it over to the lock.
That's right. And now it's locked. So that's what you have to do for multiple day testing. Then the next day, you're going to unlock it for the next test. Okay? So that's what you do for multiple day testing. You have to lock and unlock. All right, then let's see. Let's go to the manual again. All right, so we talked about exit test for multiple day sitting. We talked about direct examinees to log out of TestNav. And then resuming test for multiple day sitting is the same as the previous one. So when they log out, it's going to say exited. All you have to do is just click on the drop-down menu to resume the test. You do not have to do don't do a regularity report on multiple day sitting. Okay, so and then we talked about stopping a session. We just talked about that. And then at the end, once students have taken all 4 tests, then their status needs to say complete or marked complete. So if it's complete, let me go back. Just remind you some things. See how this says completed? What does that mean when it says completed right here? Do you remember? What does it mean if it says completed?
That they finished all the.
That's right, that the student finished all of those 4 tests. Okay, now let me find one. Let's see. And see if there's one in here. Let's see what happens. All right, no, this says already. Okay, if a student did not finish or logged out or did not log out, then you have to do the mark complete. So you'll see right here, see the little blue right here? It says completed or mark complete. If it says completed, then that means the student finished on their own. If it says mark complete, it means that the student did not log out, and so you just marked the student completed. So there's going to be a drop-down menu that would say mark complete. I can't find one that, let me see if I can maybe find one real quick. me see if I can go to another school. Maybe there's one there. Okay, so let's see if this one's one of them. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this says, all right, so this says resumed right here. So the student, so the room supervisor resumed the test. This says active, so the student's still working on the test. I don't see none of that's going to give me mark complete. All right, but at the end of testing though, every student that's in that session needs to be complete or mark complete. Now, if a student doesn't show up during let's say Tuesday, then what do y'all do to that student? Do you remember what
We have to remove them from
you have
that
to remove them
session?
from the session? That's right. So in order to stop a session, everything here has to say completed or marked complete. So let's say let's say this is standard time and these students were absent. So then I don't think you can do that here. Let's see. Let me see if you can do that here. Let's see. No, I don't
Are
think
you
you can.
trying to remove them from the session?
Yeah, but I don't think you can do that
You
here.
can. You have to click that check right next to all of them. So go down to the other 4 at the bottom
All right, so let's go here.
and click the boxes in the front.
Okay, I did that. Then go.
Up to, I don't see it. That little bar, and then I forgot, what does it say? Select task or something? The one next to the green.
Oh, okay,
button.
right here. Oh, I see. Okay, so right
Yeah.
here. All right, so at the end of testing, you're if a student's absent, let's say this is standard time. So remember, standard time is 1 day. So you have all these students that says ready and they did not take the test. Remember, in order to stop a session, all this has to say completed or marked complete. So you check on these, then you go to the drop down to the little task pane right here, and then let's see, that's going to be remove students from sessions right here. So you click on this, and then you go to start, and then those students are here. So those are the students you want to remove from that session. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those students, and you could actually click the top box, and it checks all of them, and then say remove, and then it'll say success changes saved. Then I'm going to exit task right here, and then notice that those students are no longer there. Okay, so that's how you remove students for standard time testing did not show up. Now remember, there were some reports I told you to look at. So those 4 students are now on that report that says I sent that task yesterday. Students registered but not in a test session. So then you have to do a makeup for those students. Okay? Thank you, Miss Rubin. All right. Any questions on removing students? All of you going to have this. There's going to be some session where a student was absent for standard time, and you have to remove that student. Okay, anything else? So just make sure you're looking at that part of the administration manual that talks about all of this right here. I think it starts on we start on page 53. So 53 through, let's see, we talked about stopping. Then here's the part about marking examinee test complete. Now remember, it says room supervisor, so I don't know whether you're doing it or they're going to do it, but those are the directions. So same thing we just did. Okay. Then it says confirm test session status. So at the end of testing, you're going to verify that the test sessions continue into another sitting are locked, and then verify that completed test sessions like standard time or multiple days at the end of that fourth test says completed or marked completed, and you stopped the session. So when's the only time you stop the session? When's the only time you click on that bar that says stop session? Anyone? When is the only
If
time?
they have multiple days,
Not just that, but when I'm looking for something more specific, because you could have standard time, which is 1 day. When under what conditions are you going to stop a session? Okay, so I'll go ahead and say when when all students have taken the last test. So all 4 tests, right?
oh yeah,
And then
yeah,
and then all the statuses says complete or mark complete.
mark them.
Then you stop the session. You're done. For multiple day sessions, so let's say timing code 3, you give English on the first day. At the end of that day, you don't stop it. You're going to lock the session. Then the next day you unlock the session. You continue. But for multiple days sitting, at the end of that 4th test, what are you going to do? You're going to stop it at that point. So stopping a session is when every test has been taken, whether it's multiple days or a single day. Okay?
Okay.
And that is it. The rest is irregularities. I sent you a task this morning about an irregularity form for L2E, which we discussed in our trainings. So it is located in the Canvas course. So it's task number 28. So here's the form, and if you've been a test coordinator in the past, especially like LEAP 2025, high school testing, you will have seen this form. So you do this. In addition to putting irregularities in PA Next, depending on the irregularity, you may have to do this also. So I gave you a list of possibilities of when you would do this. So I'm clicking on the drop down, and then this is a task I sent you today. So let me go ahead and enlarge it. So these are some situations, although it's not exhaustive. So students with cell phones, the TA, the room supervisor or proctor assisting students with answers, students talking to each other while they are taking the test, the TA not giving the students their accommodations, mistiming, especially for timing code 6 and 7. So remember, all of you probably have timing code 6. Some have timing code 7. The room supervisor has to record the time on that form for each student. None of you on this call has timing code 5 breaks as needed, so that's not going to affect you. Mistiming can also occur when a student goes to the restroom and the TA tells the student to log out of TestNav. You're not supposed to tell the student to log out of TestNav. And then students talking about the test during break. So these are some examples. So if that happens, then you have to complete that other form that I showed you. Let's see if I can. Oh, it probably went away. This form here. So this form has to be completed. So you would do spring. You would complete all this information, the test. You'd check off ACT work keys. You'd need the student's LACID, the first letter of the first name, first 3 letters of the last name, the day of birth, and then all of this. And then you have to get those signatures. And then you just send it to me. Hopefully your room supervisor will be monitoring pretty well and you won't have to do this. Okay, y'all have any questions at this point?
No, sir.
Okay, Is there anything you want to talk about that you still have questions about anything else?
Not right now. I don't.
Okay. Now remember, I'm not going to be here tomorrow. And email where I may not have access to email right away, but still email me, and when I get a chance, I'll email you back. But I will be here Monday. We'll have office hours again from 9 to 10 on Monday, just in case something comes up. We'll talk about making sure you prepared your sessions. So on Monday morning, go ahead and prepare your sessions. Miss Hall, you can do that too. You can do that on Monday morning, even though you're doing Wednesday.
Okay.
You can go and prepare your sessions. So that's the first thing you got to do. Then you print out your authorization tickets. Now remember, all that's secure material because it has students' information on there. And then if you're printing the seal codes for them, then print the seal codes. But make sure that it's in a secure area so no one else can get access to those until the day of testing. So all that you can do on Monday. So we'll talk about that on Monday. So we have office hours from 9 to 11. So Ms. Hall, that was a lot. Hopefully,
Yes, it was.
I did record this and there was no student information, so I'll be able to send this right away.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Harris, Ms. Moore, Ms. Hall, any other questions?
Not right now.
No, sir.
I know you won't be in on Friday. I'll probably call you on Monday, just just to clear some stuff up. Anything I'm just feeling a little antsy about, I'll let you know.
Okay.
All right.
But you can still email me and I could I'll be gone for Friday and Saturday, so I probably won't be able to email you back until Sunday.
Well, Friday is my birthday.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
I'm taking a half day, so
Well, there you go.
I'll probably send an email like early Friday morning if I have any questions, but more than likely I'll be getting in contact with you on Monday morning.
Okay, let me just make sure that all of you signed in. You did. Now, someone left. Lily, Miss Hall, you need to sign in. And who else was on here? There was one other person on here. I thought there were 4 at one point.
Was there a link for the sign in?
Yeah, it was in the email. I'll do it again.
Okay.
Oops, that's the wrong one. Miss Moore, do you remember who was on the call? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in here. Okay. All right, there's a sign in. Oh, I think it was Miss Harris. I can't remember. Oh well. Okay. Just Miss Hall, just make sure you sign in just in case someone asks who attended.
Okay.
All right. So, if you have any other questions, I'll see y'all. I'll see y'all Monday at 9 o'clock.
All right.
All right. Well, if you have any questions, you can still email me. But remember, tomorrow and Saturday will be difficult to get back with you. But I'll try and email you back on Sunday.
All right.
All right. All right, guys. Have a good day.